I opened the bathroom door, and there he was. Some half-naked guy in my shower, scrubbing himself like he belonged there. Steam everywhere. My towels. My razor. My home. I didn't even think. I charged him. He slipped trying to get out, smacked his head against the wall, and I grabbed him by the neck and slammed him into the tile. Who the F*** are you? I shouted. He muttered her name. M. Madison. My wife. Everything inside me went still. Like the moment before an explosion. That's when she came in. Towel on, makeup smudged, no guilt in her eyes, just annoyance. Like I was the problem. Ethan, what the hell are you doing? What am I doing? What the hell is he doing in my shower? And just like that, my entire marriage, 5 years of loyalty, of sacrifices, of thinking I had a partner, got wiped out in 10 seconds. 2 weeks before I found that half-naked clown in my shower, Madison was already slipping. She just thought I was too dumb to notice. It started with the phone. She used to leave it everywhere. Kitchen, couch, bathroom. She didn't care. We'd laugh at dumb memes together. But lately, that thing was glued to her hand like it was part of her. Always face down. Always on silent. If I so much as glanced at it, she'd snap, privacy, Ethan. Don't be controlling. Controlling? Me? That's rich coming from the woman who used to track my location like I was a damn pizza delivery. Then came the girls' nights. Every weekend, she'd dress up like she was hitting a red carpet and say she was going out with her friend Jessica. But I know Jessica. Jessica is 6 months pregnant and goes to bed at 9:30 p.m. with a heating pad and chamomile tea. Still, I let it go. Why? Because I didn't want to be that guy. The paranoid husband. The insecure loser digging through purses and GPS logs. I wanted to believe her. But she kept piling it on. She started working late. Staying out late. Coming home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine and pretending it was from hugging people goodbye. Who the hell hugs people that hard? The worst part? She stopped touching me. No cuddles. No kisses. Not even a lazy forehead peck before bed. Nothing. Like I was a ghost in my own house. Like touching me would burn her skin. I tried to talk to her. Set her down, looked her in the eyes, and said, "Are we okay?" She blinked, fake confused. "Of course we're okay. You're just overthinking again." Overthinking. Every time I got close to the truth, she threw that word at me like a knife. So I stayed silent. Let it eat me alive. Until the night she forgot to lock her phone. I don't even remember why she handed it to me. Something about checking the time for a reservation. But when I tapped the screen, it unlocked. No passcode. Nothing. Like fate wanted me to see it. And there it was. A message thread with someone named Chris Jim. Innocent enough, right? Except I opened it. And it wasn't innocent. I won't repeat the exact messages, but let's just say they weren't talking about protein shakes. They were talking about how much they missed last night, how she still had marks from his hands on her thighs, how she couldn't wait for round 2 once I was out of town. My hands went numb. You ever feel that kind of rage? Not explosive. Not loud. Cold. Heavy. Like cement in your chest. I didn't confront her right away. I took screenshots. Sent them to my own email. Saved the evidence. Because part of me knew she was gonna lie. No matter what I showed her, she'd try to flip the script. And damn, was I right. That night, I walked into the living room holding my phone, the screenshots open, hand trembling. She was watching reality TV, sipping wine like nothing was wrong in the universe. "Who's Chris?" I asked. She didn't even flinch. "Chris from the gym. He helped me with my deadlift form last week." "Yeah? Did he help you in bed too?" Her smile faltered. "Don't play games with me, Madison." I saw the messages. That's when she flipped the switch. Not to guilt, not to apology, but to defense mode. "You went through my phone. What the hell is wrong with you?" Classic move. Don't address the cheating, attack the investigation. "You cheated on me," I growled. "You lied. Over and over. Every late night, every girl's night. It was all him, wasn't it?" She stood up, glass in hand, acting like I was the crazy one. "You don't get to act like a victim now, Ethan. You've been distant for months. You work too much. You don't compliment me. You don't touch me. I needed something real." "Real?" She had the nerve to call sneaking around real? "You made vows," I said, voice cracking. "You made promises." She scoffed. "Vows don't mean sh*t when the marriage is dead." I didn't hit her. I didn't scream. I just walked out. But she came after me the next day, texting, calling, begging to talk. Said it was a mistake. Said it was one time. Said she loved me and not him. And like a damn fool, I listened. I agreed to meet her. To talk. To see if we could fix it. I said I'd be home in a few days to get my stuff and stay with Tyler. Needed space first. She said she understood. And then? She invited that same guy into our house. Into our shower. Like my pain meant nothing. Like I didn't exist. That's what led me to that moment. Steam. Soap. And some stranger in my damn home. This wasn't just betrayal. This was war. She didn't expect me to hit record. She didn't expect me to smile. And she definitely didn't expect me to stay calm. Madison sat there on the bed, towel slipping off her shoulder, that same smug look on her face, like she had already won. Like cheating on me in my own home, in my own shower, was just a minor hiccup in her perfect little drama. You think filming me's gonna do anything? She scoffed. Go ahead. Post it. No one cares. But here's the thing she didn't know. People do care. Especially when you show them the truth raw, uncut, unfiltered. I turned the camera to myself. This is my wife, Madison, I said, voice steady. She begged me yesterday for another chance. Said she regretted everything. Said it was over. But I just walked in and found her new boy toy showering in our bathroom. While she sat in here like it's normal. Stop it, she hissed. Don't play the victim. I kept going. This is what betrayal looks like. This is the face of someone who swore to love you forever, and then laughed when she stabbed you in the back. She jumped off the bed and lunged for the phone, but I stepped back. You don't get to control the narrative anymore, Madison. You had your turn. She paused. For the first time, her mask cracked. Not guilt. Fear. She knew. She finally realized I wasn't going to just cry and forgive her. I was going to let the world see who she really was. Ethan, come on, she said, suddenly softer, that manipulative tone slipping back in. Don't be dramatic. Let's just sit down and talk, okay? We can fix this. Oh, now we can fix this? I laughed. Was that before or after he finished using my shampoo? She glared at me, eyes cold. You're such a child. And there it was. That moment where you see the person you once loved turn into something unrecognizable. She wasn't sorry. She wasn't ashamed. She was pissed that I didn't stay on the leash. You don't deserve loyalty, she spat. You think just working hard makes you a good husband? You were never there for me emotionally. You just wanted to control everything. You think you're such a tough guy? You're nothing. Just a guy with a camera and a bruised ego. Better than being a liar in a towel, I snapped. She slapped me. Hard. Silence. I didn't flinch. I just stared at her while the camera kept rolling. Thank you, I said calmly. Now I've got that on video too. She stormed out of the room, and I heard her screaming at Chris, the shower ghost. Told him to leave, that everything was going sideways. He argued. Said she told him I was gone for the weekend. Said this wasn't what he signed up for. I laughed. Oh, buddy, you're neck deep in it now. I let him leave. No cops. No drama. I wanted to save all that energy for Madison. I packed my bag. But I didn't just take clothes. I took files. Papers. Bank info. I'd been the one handling the finances. And guess what? That little side fling of hers didn't know Madison was tied to me for nearly everything. House deed, savings, insurance, taxes. She didn't cheat on a man. She cheated on the wrong man. I left that house like a ghost. No yelling. No slamming doors. Just silence and a plan. Once I got to Tyler's, we sat on the balcony, drank 2 beers in silence, and then he finally asked, "What are you going to do?" I turned to him and smiled. I'm going to make her regret ever thinking I was weak. I posted the video to a private link, then emailed it to myself. Copied it to a drive. Sent it to a lawyer. Next step? Freeze the accounts she had access to. Lock her out of anything tied to my name. And then file. No second chances. No working things out. I was done being a character in her story. She had turned our marriage into a lie, a stage, a soap opera with her as the star. But the plot just flipped. Now I was writing the next act. And it was gonna hurt. 2 days after I walked out of that house, my phone started blowing up. Blocked numbers. Unknown texts. Fake Instagram profiles with names like, "Hey, just talk to me." All of them her. Madison was panicking. And that's when I knew I had her right where I wanted. You see, Madison had spent the last year making me feel like I was the crazy one. Gaslighting me. Manipulating every moment so that if I questioned her, I was the problem. And now? Just a taste of me fighting back had her spiraling. I didn't answer any of her calls. Not because I couldn't. Because I wanted her to sit in it. I wanted her to feel what I felt for months. That gut churning uncertainty. That sense that the ground beneath you was cracked and you were falling through. The moment I had that recording, I didn't post it publicly. Not yet. That wasn't the move. That would have been too easy. I went to a lawyer instead. A real shark, recommended by Tyler, who had gone through his own brutal divorce a year ago. This guy, James, wore suits like armor and smiled like a predator. "Tell me everything," he said. So I did. I showed him the screenshots. The video. Her meltdown. The slap. The affair. He didn't blink. Just leaned back and said, "You want blood? Or just a clean break?" I smiled. Why not both? We filed the papers the next day. But instead of serving her directly, we had a little surprise lined up. Madison worked part-time at a yoga studio downtown. Liked to play the role of spiritual, centered, balanced wife. Always posting inspirational quotes like, "Let go of what no longer serves you." Oh, I was about to take that advice very seriously. She was mid-class, guiding a bunch of rich suburban women through breathing exercises, when the process server walked in and handed her the envelope. She thought it was a delivery, until she opened it. She lost it in front of everyone. Full public meltdown. That same afternoon, she showed up at Tyler's building. I don't know how she found me, maybe GPS from when we used to share our locations, maybe a mutual friend snitched, but she stood outside buzzing nonstop until Tyler finally opened the door. I walked into the living room, and there she was. Eyes red, voice shaky, but not because she was sorry, because she knew she was losing. "You're divorcing me?" she snapped. "Just like that." "Not just like that," I replied. "I let it build up over months while you were busy playing house with your gym buddy." She stepped closer. "It was only 2 times. I swear. I was stupid. I was lonely. You were busy. That's what you were. Busy ruining the one thing I thought we were building together." She reached out and tried to touch my hand. I stepped back. "You're seriously gonna throw away 5 years over a mistake?" "No, Madison. You threw away 5 years. I'm just cleaning up the trash." She stared at me, eyes burning. "You don't love me anymore?" That's when it hit me. She didn't care about the love. She didn't even care about me. She cared that she wasn't in control anymore. "You don't get to ask me that," I said quietly. "Not after what you did." Her eyes shifted, and I saw it. The manipulator came back. "You know I could ruin you," she whispered. Ah, there it was. The threat. "You think people won't believe me if I say you were abusive? That you threatened me? You already posted a video. I could spin that real easy. Make you the villain." I smiled. "Oh, Madison, you still don't get it." I pulled out a flash drive from my pocket and tossed it on the table. Everything's backed up. Voice messages, screenshots, videos. And I've already sent copies to 3 people, including my lawyer. "Try me." She blinked, stumbled backward slightly. For the first time, she looked small. Not physically, but emotionally. The queen of her own little world had just realized her crown was made of cheap plastic. "You're really not coming back, are you?" she said, quieter now. "No," I replied. "I came back once, and I found a stranger in my shower." She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just stood there, defeated. She finally left that night. No more texts. No more calls. Just silence. But I knew Madison. That silence wouldn't last. She was the kind of woman who couldn't live without attention, and when the love dried up, she'd come back with fire. And sure enough, 3 days later, the first twist came. An email. From her. Subject line. "I'm pregnant." The subject line hit me like a punch to the gut. "I'm pregnant." No hello. No explanation. "No, please talk to me." Just that. The timing was so perfect it was almost laughable. Right after I filed for divorce. Right after I humiliated her publicly, legally, and emotionally. Suddenly now she had a miracle baby growing inside her? Yeah, sure. I didn't even open the email for a few hours. I just stared at it. Part of me hoped it was a joke. A final Hail Mary to guilt me into crawling back. But another part of me, the darker part, it knew this was Madison's move. She was always 5 steps behind in the war, but she was a queen of psychological warfare. I finally opened it. "Ethan, you can ignore me all you want, but this changes everything. I found out yesterday. I haven't told anyone else yet, not even Chris. Because it's yours. I don't want to fight anymore. I want us to talk. This isn't just about us now. It's about the baby. Please, don't shut me out." I sat there frozen. Could it be mine? We hadn't been physical in almost a month. Maybe longer. She'd always had excuses, headache, stress, not in the mood. Meanwhile, she was getting cardio with that clown in the gym showers. But still, if the timeline lined up, maybe. and that maybe was dangerous. So I did what I do best now. I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded the email to my lawyer and booked an appointment at a private DNA testing clinic. I was done playing emotional games. From now on, everything would be proof, evidence, cold hard facts. Later that day, Madison called again. This time I picked up. Ethan. Her voice was soft, trembling, like the Madison I fell in love with years ago. I didn't want to tell you like this, but I couldn't keep it from you. Then don't, I said coldly. Send me medical confirmation. Blood test. Anything. I want proof. Why don't you believe me? She said, almost crying. Because you've lied about everything else, I snapped. And if this is another manipulation tactic, it's the lowest thing you've ever done. There was silence on the other end. For a second, I thought she hung up. But then she spoke, voice colder now. You know what, Ethan? Keep treating me like I'm trash. When this baby comes and you're not in its life, that'll be your guilt to live with. She hung up. I stared at the screen. My hand was trembling, not from fear, from rage. She still thought she had leverage. Still thought I could be baited with guilt and fear and fatherhood. Not this time. The next day, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered, thinking it might be her again. But it wasn't. It was Chris. Yeah, him. Hey, is this Ethan? I didn't answer right away. My blood boiled just hearing his voice. I know I'm the last guy you want to hear from, he continued. But I need to talk to you, man. Off the record. No drama. Why? I growled. Because she told me she's pregnant. And she said it might be mine. Silence. I almost laughed. But it wasn't funny. It was disgusting. You think I care? I finally said. You should, he said. Because I think she's lying to both of us. That got my attention. We met up later that night. Neutral ground. A diner out by the freeway. The guy looked nervous. Not cocky like the last time I saw him dripping wet in my shower. Just confused. She told me it was a mistake. That she loved me, but it wasn't the right time. She said you were abusing her, that you cheated first. She said what? I cut him off, voice rising. Yeah, man. She painted you as the villain. Said you ignored her for months. That you were cold and manipulative. She never told me you were still together. She said you two were separated. I clenched my fists under the table. I wanted to break something. But I stayed still. Focused. She's playing both sides, I said flatly. Trying to see which one of us gives her the better outcome. Chris nodded. I told her I wanted a paternity test too. She flipped out. Said I was accusing her. Started crying. Then blocked me. She's spiraling, I said. She's losing control. We agreed on one thing. Neither of us was backing down without a test. 2 weeks passed. No results. No proof. Just silence from her. Until yesterday. A letter arrived at my door. Handwritten. There is no baby. I just wanted to see if you still cared. You used to be mine, Ethan. I just didn't think you'd ever really walk away. But now I know. I'll leave you alone. Madison. No apology. No shame. Just a twisted confession and a final mind game. She tried everything: guilt, gaslighting, threats, fake pregnancy, all to trap me back into her toxic orbit. And now? Now she had nothing. But this wasn't over. Because while she was busy scheming, she forgot one thing. I wasn't just ending the marriage. I was ending her game. For good. I stared at Madison's last letter, hands steady, heart calm. There is no baby. For words. That was all it took to finally rip the last thread of respect I had left for her. It wasn't about the baby. It never was. It was about control, about yanking my heart like a leash, seeing if I'd crawl back one last time. She really thought she had me that deep. Nah, not anymore. You don't fake pregnancy just to see if a man still cares. You don't cry wolf while standing over the corpse of a 5-year marriage you buried with your own hands. That night, I opened the video file. The one from the shower. And I watched it again, this time not as the broken husband, but as the man who finally saw everything clearly. Her voice. Her body language. The smugness. The way she blamed me, twisted the story mid-argument, flipped from victim to viper like she was changing outfits. That's when I decided. I wasn't just going to expose her to friends or family. I was going to burn the entire mask she wore in public, the sweet wife, the social media goddess, the perfect little suburban queen with her yoga poses and inspirational quotes. She played her role well. But I had the real script. I edited the footage. Nothing dramatic. Just facts. Raw moments. Her cheating. Her smirking. Her slapping me. Her saying, "You don't deserve loyalty." No narration. No emotional commentary. Just truth. I called the video what my wife did while pretending she still loved me. Then I uploaded it. Unlisted, at first. Sent it to a few close people. Friends. Family. Her parents. And then, the next day, when I saw she was back on social media posting selfies again, talking about healing and self-love like she hadn't just tried to fake a child into existence, I made the link public. Within 24 hours, the views exploded. The comments were brutal. This is evil. She doesn't even look sorry. How do you lie this coldly? Man, she gaslit him and tried to pin a fake pregnancy? Run, king. She texted me within minutes. Take it down or I'll sue you. I texted back. Go ahead. But my lawyer has the footage, your texts, the fake pregnancy note, and 2 witnesses ready to testify under oath. She didn't reply. She posted a story instead, some tearful video of her crying into the camera, saying I was abusing her emotionally and violating her privacy. But the internet? It wasn't buying it. Because the proof was too solid. She didn't just cheat. She lied, manipulated, and weaponized sympathy to keep control. People saw through her. Friends stopped calling her. She got dropped from a brand deal she bragged about for months, some local wellness product she was supposed to promote. They emailed her, telling her they don't tolerate dishonest or abusive behavior. She started messaging my friends, trying to spin the story. Didn't work. Some of them sent me screenshots. One line stuck out. He's destroying my life. And I don't even know why. You don't know why, Madison? You stood in front of me in a towel, while the man you were sleeping with showered in my house, and told me I drove you to it. And now that the world sees the monster behind your mascara, you cry why? Nah, you don't get to play confused. That's the thing about narcissists, they're only sorry when they lose their audience. A week later, I got a letter from her lawyer. Some cease and desist crap, saying the video was defamatory. My lawyer replied with timestamps, evidence, and a friendly reminder. Your client signed a waiver on camera when she tried to confront him later, smiling, posing as the wrong party. Checkmate. She tried to go nuclear. And I brought facts to a war she started with lies. But I didn't stop there. Because here's the twist, Madison had cheated before. Months earlier. With another guy. Some sales rep she met at a seminar. I only found out because he messaged me anonymously after seeing the video. Said he felt guilty. Said she told him she was single. He ghosted her after realizing she was married, but always regretted not telling me. No? He did. He even sent proof. Screenshots. Hotel receipts. A voicemail of her begging him to stay. I forwarded all of it to my divorce lawyer. That pushed the case into overdrive. Adultery. Repeated. Documented. She lost every leverage point in court. The judge saw through her crocodile tears in under 5 minutes. We got a ruling within a month. Quickest case they'd seen all year. I walked out of that courthouse a free man. No spousal support. I kept the house. The car. She got what she came with, nothing. And all she could do was watch. She thought she could control me forever. Instead, she gave me the best gift possible. A reason to wake up and rebuild with no guilt, no ties, and no illusions. It's strange how quiet life becomes when the chaos finally stops. No more shouting. No more fake apologies. No more second-guessing every word in a conversation. After the divorce was finalized, I expected to feel angry, or broken, or numb. But instead, I felt something I hadn't felt in over a year. Peace. I slept for 9 straight hours the night the papers were signed. First time in forever. No waking up in a sweat. No checking my phone for texts that never came. No stress dreams of finding strangers in my shower. It was just me, a cold apartment, and silence. And I loved it. I deleted every photo I had of Madison. Took down our wedding pictures. Boxed up the few things she left behind, cheap jewelry, half-used perfumes, a couple of old journals I didn't even open. Just dumped them in a storage box and shoved it to the back of the closet. I went back to the gym. Not for revenge shape. Not to make her regret it. Just to feel like myself again. Tyler helped. He made sure I didn't sink. He got me out of the house, reconnected me with old friends I hadn't seen in forever because Madison didn't like them. Funny how isolation looks like love when you're blind to manipulation. Work picked up. I was focused again. Clients started commenting on how sharp I looked. One of them even asked, "You seem different. Did something good happen?" Yeah. She left. I didn't tell people the full story anymore. I didn't need to. The video had already made the rounds in the first few weeks. Those who knew, knew. And those who didn't? They could go ask her. If they could still find her, that is. Because after that video, Madison disappeared, deleted her accounts, stopped showing up at her yoga studio, ghosted most of our mutuals. Even Jessica, her fake alibi friend, told me she hadn't heard from her in weeks. Part of me thought it was over, that I'd never hear her name again. But peace is a funny thing. It doesn't last forever. One Thursday afternoon, I was out having coffee with an old client when he leaned in and said, "Hey, random question. You ever been to Rise and Grind Cafe?" I shook my head. "Why?" "Because I saw your ex there the other day. Looked rough. Like, real bad." I froze mid-sip. He didn't even know the full story. But that name? Ex? It only meant one person. Madison? He nodded slowly. "Yeah, pretty sure. She was arguing with some dude outside. Skinny guy, tattoos. Looked like he wanted to disappear. Chris. I hadn't thought about him in a while. After she admitted the baby was fake and the divorce wrapped up, he ghosted the entire situation. Probably tried to pretend it never happened. But apparently, the past has claws. Later that night, curiosity got the better of me. I drove to that cafe. Just to see. I parked across the street, stayed in my car. And sure enough, there she was. Madison. No makeup. Baggy hoodie. Dark circles under her eyes. Sitting at a corner table, just staring into her phone. Not scrolling. Not texting. Just staring. The smug queen from my past was gone. This was a woman who had been stripped down to reality. And the truth? I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel bad, either. I felt nothing. She looked up once. Almost as if she felt someone watching. Her eyes scanned the street. But I stayed still. She didn't see me. I didn't want her to. That night, I got one last email from her. Subject: I'm sorry. I almost deleted it on sight. But something made me open it. I don't expect you to ever forgive me. I don't even know why I'm writing this. Maybe to finally be honest for once in my life. You were right. About everything. I used you. I blamed you. I lied. And when you didn't come crawling back, I hated you for it. Not because I missed you, but because I couldn't control you anymore. You were always better than me, Ethan. I just wanted to ruin you so I didn't have to look in the mirror. I see now that I lost the only person who ever loved me without an agenda. I'm sorry. No dramatic goodbye. No ask for a second chance. Just that. I sat there, reading it 3 times. And finally, I hit delete. Because even when people admit the truth, it doesn't mean you owe them anything. She got her closure. I already had mine. 1 year. It's been 1 full year since I walked in on a stranger in my shower and a woman I once promised forever standing there like I was the problem. 12 months. And I can finally say the storm is over. Not because everything magically got better. Not because time erased the pain. But because I faced every lie, every slap in the face, and didn't let it turn me into something ugly. I didn't let her define who I became. I look back now, not out of bitterness, but like a man who finally made it out of a burning building, covered in ash but still breathing. Stronger. Smarter. Clearer. It wasn't easy. You don't just snap out of betrayal like it's a bad dream. You wake up every day for weeks, months, remembering little things that used to mean something, and now just rot in your memory like a lie you fell for too long. You remember her laugh. You remember how she said, "I'd never do that to you." You remember how she cried the first time you fought. All of it feels like emotional leftovers from someone else's life. Because the woman I thought I married? She never existed. That was the hardest part to swallow. It wasn't just about what she did in the end. It was about realizing she'd been wearing a mask from the very start. Every sweet word. Every kiss on the forehead. Every, "You're my everything." It was always about what she could get. What control she could keep. And the second she thought she was losing it, she turned venomous. And when that didn't work, she played victim. But the best thing I ever did was stop engaging with her war. I stopped answering. Stopped reacting. Stopped giving her a role in the movie she was directing inside her delusional little mind. I wasn't the villain. I wasn't the hero. I just walked away. And that broke her more than any revenge ever could. Because people like Madison, they feed on chaos. But you starve them with silence. You take away their audience. You heal in private. And you win quietly. These days, I don't even talk about her. Not to friends. Not on social media. That story? It's been written, told, watched, judged, and closed. The video got millions of views before I took it down. Yeah, I removed it. Not because I regret posting it, but because I didn't need it anymore. I didn't want her face on my channel, her voice echoing through my life, even as a cautionary tale. She's not a part of my future. So I deleted her from it. Completely. Now, I'm dating again. Slowly. Cautiously. But with eyes wide open. The new woman in my life? She's the opposite of Madison in every possible way. No games. No masks. No guilt trips disguised as love. She knows my story. And she respects my scars. Not all women are like Madison. That was important for me to learn. For a while, I thought betrayal meant I had to build walls forever. But the truth is, you don't build walls, you build standards. I look for honesty now. Simplicity. Peace. Because once you survive someone who manipulates your love and then weaponizes your loyalty, peace becomes priceless. And if you're reading this, if you're someone who's been through it, or maybe you're going through it right now, let me tell you something you won't hear from most people. You don't have to stay. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to fight for someone who made you question your worth. If you're always doubting, always chasing, always proving yourself, that's not love. That's emotional blackmail. And you deserve better. I wasted so much time trying to be good enough for someone who was never real to begin with. No, I don't chase. I don't beg. And if someone can't match the love I give, they don't get access to it. Simple as that. I still get messages sometimes. People who watched the video before it was taken down. Men and women. Some saying thank you. Others saying, I'm going through this now. And a few saying I should have destroyed her worse. But that's the thing. I didn't need to. She destroyed herself. Her lies caught up to her. Her games collapsed in public. And in the end, I walked away free, with my name, my dignity, and my future still intact. She's just another cautionary tale. Another example of what happens when someone confuses love with control and ends up losing both. So if you're still stuck in the middle of the pain, here's my advice. Don't try to win her back. Win yourself back. That's the real revenge. And once you do, you'll never let anyone like her in again. Not even for a second.